From the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We've been watching this all morning. It's kind of come and gone with its intensity.
We saw really intense lightning, especially up into Kentucky just a few hours ago. All that shifted northward. There's still some lightning moving on up into Pennsylvania, but for the most part, it's really started to weaken considerably. We're not likely to see any thunder and lightning here, but we're seeing some scattered light rain. We'll see that on and off up until around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. Kind of depends on where you are. We'll start to clear from the west. Right now, we're looking at just a few waves of rain. It stretched along and east of I-95. It is likely to be a breezy afternoon, especially east of the Triangle area. And we'll talk more about that. But a few rounds of rain coming through, a more steady band that's back to the west, just starting to push into some of our western counties. So you can see that around Pittsboro, back to Siler City, Sanford, back into Moore County. We're seeing some fairly steady rain right now. And then from Rollsville down towards Smithfield, that's going to be lifting up toward Rocky Mount and Wilson, as well as up around Lewisburg and Franklinton. Let's take a look at Futurecast, and you can see this band back to the west as we get through 1 to 2 o'clock. We see that moving across the viewing area. Notice it'll be scattered, and the amounts will likely be around 1/4 to 1/2 inch. At 5 o'clock, we do have the potential for this band to be sitting over the triangle. That could cause some issues for the evening commute. It may be fairly messy. We'll start to see that lifting out of the viewing area starting around 6 o'clock or so. It's not likely to be out of our northeastern counties until around 8 or 9 o'clock this evening. And that's not the end of it. Overnight tonight, we'll have just a little light patchy rain. At 5 o'clock, you can see this little band coming through. It's not likely to be terribly wet during the morning commute. There may be some drizzle or patchy light rain, but the roads will probably be wet for the morning commute, even though we may not see much heavy falling. What we're watching for the big event is this cold front coming through. It'll be a very narrow band, but the rain will be heavy and the winds will be very strong with this. It's going to be really cold on the other side of it. We'll be in the 70s tomorrow. This starts to move into the viewing area around 4 or 5 o'clock. It's moving through the triangle between 6 and 7, and between 7 and 8, it starts to pull out. It should be mainly out of the viewing area by around 9 or 10, and then we'll start to see some gradual clearing. Out ahead of our system today, we're seeing some gustier winds around Rocky Mount, Wilson and Goldsboro, 20 to 25 miles per hour. Not as gusty around the Triangle area right now, but our wind is coming out of the south, and so that's going to keep our temperatures pretty mild. We'll have some gusts this afternoon up to 30 miles per hour, and then overnight, watch how that wind really starts to ramp up around midnight or so. It is going to be a very windy day for us tomorrow. This is a look at the wind gusts. We'll be gusting to 35 miles per hour in the morning, and then 35 to 40 miles per hour in the afternoon. The National Weather Service is talking about issuing a wind advisory for tomorrow, and so we'll let you know when and if that happens a little later on today. If it does, we'll be under a severe weather advisory, of course. Looking at Durham, we have our folks who are out here playing soccer. They're probably getting a little bit wet. There are some showers out there right now. They're on the lawn in front of the DPAC. 60 degrees is our current temperature. We're on our way into the mid to upper 60s later on. A little cooler in Roxborough at 54, 61 in Fayetteville, and 62 in Clinton right now. Around town, again, looking at 67 in Raleigh, 65 in Durham, and 69 in Fayetteville. Really warm tomorrow, 77, but behind the front, we're back into the 50s Thursday and Friday with some lows in the 30s. And then over the weekend, warmer, but we're also looking at another system that could bring some rain late Friday into the day Saturday. I'll walk you through the timeline coming up.
Elizabeth, thanks.